So here's the thing. So I get this delight. If anyone's watching this on YouTube, this shows up, right? I've got a new complaint on my front porch. And I open it and I don't see your name at first. I just see I've got a new complaint. And I thought, well, yes. Like I'm with you. Okay. This is happening. This is the best day of my life. Okay. And then I look and I see your name and I have to sit down for a minute. Because here's why. So your parents, are they still in Scottsdale?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, God bless America. Okay, here we go. But you're not still in Phoenix, right?
Oh, no.
Okay. I am in Phoenix.
I'm in Oregon. You're still in Phoenix?
Right. I'm in Phoenix. Okay, now listen. So I moved to Phoenix 20 years ago. And at the time, my oldest daughter, who's about to turn 27, was in second grade. She goes to school the first day and she meets what's like her now lifelong friend. Her name is Sunny. Sunny's mom's name is Kim. Kim also happens to be a creative writing teacher. Kim and I get to know each other. We become fast friends. Her name's Kim Sabin. She says to me, Liz, I have a book that you're going to die. You're going to love this woman so much, you're not going to know what to do. This is the book that she gave me.
That's one of my favorites.
So for anyone not watching on the video, it's I Love Everybody and Other Atrocious Lies by you, Laurie Notaro. So then I had to pull this out when I've got a new complaint because it's been 20 years since I read this and I now need to read it again because I fell so in love with you. I hope it's okay. We've known each other for 2 minutes and 54 seconds. I was like, this woman. So we're going to talk about this book. But I have a list of questions, which I never do, Laurie, because I like to just let the conversation go where it goes. But I knew if I let this conversation go, it'll just go and then we'll get off and I'll be like, damn it, I didn't ask.
Whatever I'll follow you. You lead, I'll go. Yeah,
I don't even know how right now. Oh my God. First, let me just say this. Thank you, A, for being you. B, for letting yourself be you, publicly, and C, for putting it, I can't with this, but this book, I cannot. And I think it's partially because I'm so freaking relatable. I've got a new complaint on aging gracefully and other small disasters.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you that I got 2 really, really awesome 1-star reviews already on Amazon. And one said, I deeply regret choosing this as my free book. Okay, that was number 1. And then I went to that person
as my free book.
As my free book. I deleted it. And then I went to that person.
How'd you delete it?
She just deleted it off of her Kindle, I guess.
Oh, I thought you meant you deleted the review. She deleted the book.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, you can't do that.
Right. I was like, how are you doing? What kind of privileges do you have and how do I get those? Go ahead.
Right. So then I went to her review page and she reviewed Corn Nuts and she gave it 1 star. And she said,
as she should have. That tracks.
This is what she said.
Okay.
Yes. These are not nuts. It's just dried corn. And I was like, oh my God, this could not get more awesome.
This could not get, I love the 1-star review.
That is going to have to be in a next book. And then another one that I just got this morning was 1 star. Because of course you check, especially in the beginning, you lose interest after a while. But in the beginning, you're like, how is this being received? What did I mess up on? What did I get right? And this one woman said, I can't believe the way this family talks to one another.
Oh,
I am so glad. She called it disgusting. I am so glad I am not in this family. I'm like, I'm really glad you're not in our family too.
But are they getting, because it doesn't even come out till September 8th. Are they getting it because it's an Amazon imprint and so it's a free, it's on there?
So it got on first reads on Amazon, which means that they let readers, the Prime members, download it for free on Kindle for a full month before it comes out, which is a great marketing strategy. So these aren't even people who have paid for the book, and I don't care. I mean, I've been paid already. I don't care. I want it to do well naturally, only because so I can write another book. But
of course,
I mean, the 1 stars can be almost as fulfilling when you know that you really are,
mm-hmm.
you're kind of reaching the wrong audience sometimes, and you're making them really mad.
I know.
I love that too. Yeah.
I know. What does that say about us?
It says that I'm glad that I've never bought corn nuts and left a 1-star review, that I had nothing more important going on in my life, that I wrote a review of
corn nuts and how they're not really that. When you said that, I thought that deserves its own essay. Like, that has to make its way into something with a title, something like, corn nuts, parentheses. They're not really nuts.
They're not really nuts. It's just red corn. And I post these on my Facebook page because I'm really so proud of them.
See, I think, like, and a question I wasn't even in my bingo card is, like, lots of times authors get really down, and I understand when they get, especially first-time authors, right? When they get a bad review, but when they're that absurd, I think it's the most brilliant marketing material around, because then you have the people who are like, if that would, I want to know how this family talks to each other, which, by the way, is a freaking sitcom. Your dad and the spoiled milk. Like, I don't even, what is your dad's name? Are you comfortable saying his first name?
Sure. Well, he's got 2 first names.
Oh, of course.
His original first name is Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he found out when he joined the army that wasn't his real name. His real name was Vincent. And then, because my grandmother got in a fight with Uncle Vinny and just crossed it out on the birth certificate and thought it was legal. So for the first 18 years of my life, my dad was answering to the wrong name. It was just a fake name.
It's like,
so our family calls him Jimmy. Of course, my mother calls him Jimmy. My grandparents called him Jimmy, but professionally, he's Vince. Yeah, he's like the typical Italian American Vinny Notaro, right? Everyone thinks he's in the mafia.
Is it Notaro? My God, I've been saying Notaro for 20 years.
Oh God, no, you're saying it right.
I am?
Right. We say it wrong. We've really anglicized it. It is Notaro.
Well, but I don't have I'm not rolling the R.
You don't have to, but it wasn't until I went to Italy and people were pronouncing my name right. Now is like,
that's not how we say my name.
I am Laurie Notaro. That's who I am. So that's what my husband calls me now. Yeah.
Wait, it's not Laudi?
It would be Laudi, but they don't have Laurie
hard
in Italian.
Yeah, that's hard.
They have Lauda.
Dude, yeah. I like it. I think if I brace yourself. If I find out that I won't stalk you, but if I find out that you're in Scottsdale and you post somewhere, I'm going to this coffee shop, it's possible that you might hear behind you Lauda, it's
Notaro,
me. It's me.
Notaro.
Mm-hmm. This is invigorating. Okay.
We are coming very soon. We have a wedding in our future.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
my little nephew Nicholas that I took to Disneyland in I Love Everybody is getting married.
That's absurd.
I know.
Why
He's 30.
Nope. Mm-mm. Nope.
Why do they do that?
We're still in our 30s ourselves, so it's fine.
I'm still in my 20s. Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't want to revisit that. But personally, my 30s weren't awesome either. Anyway,
I know in my 20s it was HPV and that kind of stuff, pregnancy tests and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't like DUIs. So maybe 30s is better. I was stable and married and, but I threw you off course. I'm totally sorry.
It's okay. No, I'm just I can be thrown off course. That's not it. This is just delightful. Okay. So can we talk? So, okay. Many things are endearing.
I'm ready.
About you. The first thing why are you having that look?
Because I'm a horrible person. I'm a horrible person.
Well, then I'm a horrible person because I want to
That is awesome.
I want to create a homestead and we have cows and chickens. I don't even know if you're into those things. I want to go take your dad milk and be Mr.
It's fresh.
Right. But leave it on the counter if you want. I want to be a bad person with you. Is that, I don't, so when I read, lots of times when I get books, especially essays, one of the first things I do is read the author bio. Cause I like to get to know just as best I can the author, so I know where it's usually a she, but because most essays, would you call this essay and memoir or memoir and essay?
I don't know.
Who the hell cares?
Like,
okay.
I was a columnist at the Republic for like a million years.
At the Arizona Republic?
Yeah, I had a daily column there until they fired me. Right before Idiot Girls came out, they fired me.
We'll get into that. Okay, so I read this and I thought, I loved this. Laurie Notaro is currently unemployed and childless and enjoys spending her days searching for Bigfoot documentaries on Discovery Channel. I was like, that tells me everything I need to know. Like, it immediately.
We write our own. We write our own bios.
Right. But it's not, but how much time do authors spend? This is a rhetorical question, trying to like create this perfect but sterile, like, I'm worthy of your 99-cent or free download bio.
I know.
A lot of time.
And I also always take my own pictures, so I look at bios. That's really how I decide whether, so everybody's like, and I'm like, boom. Even before like the iPhone, I would just use a camera and I go boom and flip through. I'm like, yeah, okay. That's
this one's good enough. This is good enough.
But other ones are just like, this is, Madeline's first novel. She studied creative writing in the Iowa whatever program, and
Yaddo
she
graduate.
splits her time between her dogs and her horses and her 3 lovely children. I'm like, I know that you wrote that.
And also, you want to put your children on eBay, like, certainly, like, that's not, because we all do from time to time.
Yes.
Don't judge. So here's what I love most about the bio.
I took that.
Oh, you took this photo of?
Yeah, I take all of them.
Good work. I mean, come on.
It's Photoshop. This photo booth on my laptop.
I mean, now you can use AI. Like, I'm not advocating for this and trying to put photographers out of business. Don't come at me. I'm just saying, although my photo, when it's doctored by AI, like, for some reason, it wants to give me this very, as they would say, snatched jawline and a very pointy chin. And I'm like, who is that? Like, you can do better. That doesn't even look like me. So.
Right. No, I am who I am. In that photo, I will admit to taping my neck back. With packing tape. Yeah, with packing tape. It really hurts.
With packing tape. Okay, I'm going to try that because I do have an issue with I'm getting, like, I need arnica or something. That's what Instagram tells me recently that I need is this arnica. It's called like Froya. I keep getting served. I'm going to try it. Trust me. They keep serving me.
You know what? You have really good definition. I wouldn't mess with it.
I think it's like a lighting situation or something. I'm not going to put any needles in my face because have you written about that? I haven't gotten all. Have you written about needles in the face?
I got my eyes done in that book.
I'll tell you. Okay, okay, wait, hold on, back up. So the thing about this bio that it just is outrageous is Laurie Notaro has written a lot of books.
Yeah.
I could not love that more because truly, at what point does it become absurd? It's like when people are talking about their child and they're like, he's 107 months old. I'm like, guys, he's 7 or whatever the math is. Like, but how many is it? Let's give you.
I don't know. I'd have to.
Really?
Honestly, I don't know.
Well, I'm going to find out.
Check the front of the book and realize that I've written one more since then.
I think it's like 26.
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know. Do not quote me on that, but I'm going to do the research. And I'm going to find out. And I'm going to let you know how many books you've written.
Okay, thanks.
So anyway,
it's like being a Mormon mom. Like, after a while, you just lose track. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Did I feed it today? Right?
Well, I have like 5, so I occasionally for like, what's your name?
What happened?
Well, I don't 100% know. So we had Grace, and I'm not married anymore, but I have a very. We could write a pretty funny essay about my ex-husband lives 3 blocks to the east. Not good with directions, and we had a terrible. You may have heard about it. We had an absolutely horrible storm a couple of days ago. I don't know if they got it up in Scottsdale, but like it was a full-on tornado. I'm in the West Valley of Phoenix, and it was like a full-on tornado.
Okay.
And so every tree on his street is down. And I called him the next morning, and I was like, if you bust out the chainsaw, I'll come carry wood. Like, that's the kind of relation. We were never like that when we were married, by the way. But so we had Grace, and then we had twin boys 2 years later. And then I lost my damn mind because that's what happens, truly. And so then I thought, we need a fourth kid because we're an odd numbered family, and that's going to leave somebody out. We've never done anything that would require that we be an even numbered family, but nevertheless. So then we had our fourth, George, another boy. And then I had always wanted to adopt. So we ended up adopting from Ethiopia a couple of years after that. And so here I sit, and I do sometimes go, how did this happen? Like, wow. But they're amazing.
I understand. The even number is like there were 5 in our family, and someone always had to sit in the very, very back seat of the station wagon by themselves, right? Which we, by the way, still have. Yes.
The green one with the wood panels?
Yeah, it's a country squire. Yeah. It's so big it doesn't fit into a new garage. My dad had to buy a house.
This isn't the original green one with the brown panels that your dad...
Yeah. He bought that car brand new. Yeah, we still have it. I threw up in it. My sister pooped in it. Yeah, we still have that car. I don't think it runs, but we still have that car. It's like so long, it does not fit in a normal size
That's
garage.
Outrageous. Is it the one where in the back seat, the people face backward?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. So Lisa always got stuck back there because I was like, I'm not climbing over that seat.
I'm not climbing over that seat.
And
that's probably why she threw up. Or who threw up? You threw up.
No, I threw up. Oh. I threw up. Tell you one really funny thing. You know your Attorney General, Chris Mays?
Sort of. I should know more than I do.
She's one of the original idiot girls.
I can't. See, now this is... Okay.
I went to college with her.
Is that right?
She was the editor of the State Press, and I was editor of the State Press magazine. We were very good friends. I don't think she'll acknowledge me now, but in secret, she might. Like, every now and then we Facebook each other. I'm like, what's going on? And one time my friend sued her, and we all know each other. And it's you know,
this is fantastic.
As a journalist, she had to sue Chris Mays. It was silly. Anyway, let's get on to your questions. I'm derailing you. So
no, I'm all about being derailed, that came out of my mouth. As it was coming out of my mouth, I thought, I don't know if that sounds not good. But anyway, okay. So here's one question I have.
I'm ready.
I'm going to ask a serious question about writing before I ask a non-serious question. Cause I literally, I think cackled is the right word to use when I read a particular line in this, which I'll mention in a minute.
Okay,
so
good.
You've written fiction and nonfiction, but you've done so much essay. And essay to me, it gets a bad rap and it's hard. Here's the thing. I think it gets a bad rap because it's hard and people don't realize how hard it is. And so a lot of people maybe try to do it and and then when you're doing like what they now call memoir in essay, right? So it's kind of like not a non-linear telling because this is not linear. This is okay. So clearly that's not for you.
I can't stand all these names.
I know it's a lot and it's unnecessary in my opinion. Like, can we just have 4 categories? Like, that's how I feel about a lot of things. Can we just have a handful of categories? But
fiction, nonfiction, memoir, bullshit. That's fine.
Yeah, like fiction, nonfiction, memoir, cookbooks, and children's books, and poetry. Yeah. Those are the only categories that Liz
husband.
Needs. Oh my God, this is fantastic.
Dear? There he is. Hi.
He's got to be... I feel like I need to spend about 20 minutes with, because this has got to be a riot and a half. Okay, now, how do you, when you write an essay, does it just come out of you, or is it like 372? What is your process? Because these are so, every word, there's not a word I would ever suggest removing.
Well, here's the thing is that, okay, so I didn't start out to be an essayist at all. I wanted to be like an investigative reporter. That was my thing. Like I like when I was the first of my career, I was covering like murders, like Christopher Milky and crack babies and stuff like that. And it was, I fell into this by accident. That's another whole long story. But the thing about the essays is, and I didn't realize I was actually doing this until he told me, my husband that told me that I was doing this. And so he's like, you think you just sit down and you write these things. He's like, you don't. Mm-hmm. When you come back and a tampon is just flung out of your purse, you come home and then you tell Jamie, and then I hear you tell your mom, and then I hear you tell Lisa, your sister, and you're rehearsing that piece. And he was right. I was totally going through like the editing process, like listening consciously or unconsciously, I don't know, like where I needed a pause or where I got a laugh or where I needed, you know what I mean? And so then, when I first started writing essays, it was like, totally, you just sit down and you just poop it out. Like I was an editor of the magazine. I had 3 hours to write this thing, and I would just sit down, and some of them are good and some of them are terrible. But when I moved into book stuff, then and even more when I was a columnist for the Republic, then I would start taking notes, like when I was out of college and actually actively working. So I would take notes of the humiliating escapade, so I wouldn't forget details, because I've always had a notoriously terrible memory, right? So then I would just take notes on something like a bank statement, like in my purse or on the back of a checkbook. So there's a bunch of notes. And then I would just keep thinking about it. And then when I would go down to actually write the piece, then I would write the notes. And then the process, I hate that word, but the construction of it changed as I got older. And I realized it was probably about 10 years ago, right before my career crashed the second time, that a way to really, and I teach classes on this too, like online, like I teach classes on this, is that you could do 3 different beginnings, an A, B, and C beginning. And one is, act 1, act 2, act 3, beginning, middle, and end. And you write a lead for each of those leads, for each of those points in time in the column. And then you pick the best one that's going to really hook the reader. And then you have the framework of your essay already done. You've got your intro to your second act. You've got your intro to your conclusion, or whatever is going to be your conclusion. And I know that it's hard to kind of grasp that, but I was just like, geez, that took me like 30 years to realize. So I try to impart those kinds of tricks and experiential things to other people who are just starting out. And this, I'm like, listen, there's a really easy way to do this. It took me a long time, but so I don't just sit down and write, and then I have to feel like, okay, I have enough stuff to write this piece, because I've thought of something in the shower, a metaphor or something else that will relate to, like, maybe the colonoscopy piece.
Why you know what I mean? The shower.
It's well, now that I'm older and I just got fired from Stanford, so I don't have to go to work anymore.
What do you mean you just got fired from Stanford?
I got doged. I got doged from Stanford. Yeah. So I was a communications director for a department in the medical school, and I got doged when we got our NIH grants cut. Okay. Anyway, so now I'm just back to writing full time.
Well, but I don't happy about that. I'm not happy you got doged, but
that's what the next book is about. We could talk about that too. Is like, so many of my friends got doged, and I'm 60 now. I'm 60. So letting a person go when they're 60 years old means that they're facing 5 years of complete unemployment until you hit Social Security.
Yeah.
And so that's what this next book is about. It's actually a novel. It's a humorous novel about 5 women who lose their jobs, and they have to resort to crime and wait out their time in prison before Social Security kicks in. But it goes all horribly wrong. So
of course it does. But, did you ever have? Let's talk about this career taking a shit, like, if we may.
Sure.
My mom just rolled over. She was like, Liz, there had to have been another way to say that. I'm certain. My parents listen to this. My dad listens to this every week. And I'm just like waiting for he's such a doll. He just comments, "You go, girl," on every. So if anyone sees it on YouTube.
How long does he leave his food out on the counter overnight?
Well, not long, because I don't think my mom allows that.
Yeah, my mom just does not care. She's like, you die, you die. If it's your time, you're going to eat rotten fish. Eat rotten fish. I don't care.
I can't with that. Like, what was the one it doesn't matter. You got people, you got to read this book. No, it wasn't. It was the cookie that Lisa brought over that had mold on it.
Oh, it's from Chicago. Yeah, she's in Chicago right now. I'm like, bring back more cookies.
Where in Chicago?
Chicago. She's at a conference.
The city.
She's in Chicago.
Oh, she's in Chicago. Okay. I moved out here from a suburb in Chicago 20 years ago. So I thought maybe she lived in Chicago. Okay. So the first time your career plummeted, for my mother, I'll change it to plummeted. When was that? What happened? Because, this is such an interesting industry. And I have had multiple conversations with authors who are perceived to be forever in the machine, have it made, life is made in the shade, they're good to go. And people just don't even know, oh yeah, this thing totally fell apart. The wheels came all the way off X number of years ago. Will you give us
this happened twice. It happened twice.
Let's go.
So the first time I was at Random House and I, what was the last book that I wrote for them might have been Spooky Little Girl. I think so. Okay. Or It Looked Different on the Model. I'm not sure. Both of which did fairly well. And so anyway, I pitched a book that ended up being housebroken much later on. And there's some backdoor politics I wasn't aware of, and that had nothing to do with me. Yeah. And I did not get my book contract renewed. I just simply didn't. They turned it down, which meant that I was like, I had been with Random House for 13 books, maybe 9 books. Mm-hmm. And I thought I had a home there for forever. It turns out, no. So I put a hex on that publisher, and she lost her job a little while later. And then, so I went to Simon & Schuster.
You had this smile. I couldn't help but.
Oh yeah, no, she deserved it. I'm not going to say what her name is, but yeah, she deserved it. My altar's right back there. I don't know if you can see it. My altar's right back there. It's just, it's for justice purposes only. It's happened so many times now. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to put a hex on you.
It's fine.
So, so then I went to Simon & Schuster, went to Gallery, which was a new imprint. I don't remember what the first book was. I don't remember. Potty Mouth at the Table. And then I wrote Crossing. In the meantime, Random House came back, ended up doing Housebroken, which did okay. But Crossing the Horizon came out in, 2 weeks before the election in 2017. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go and look it up. And the book industry, every industry ran off a cliff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so everyone who had a book come out in fall of 2017, like no one was doing anything. The readers of the world were in shock. Yeah. Right. And so that book sold 3,000 copies, which is nothing.
Right.
And it was to date, that was my best.
People weren't reading. I mean, to the, like, everyone was just, or was the material too heavy? Was it?
It was a switch for me. I went back to, went to historical fiction, but it was actually nonfiction. It was about the three female pilots in 1927 who actually attempted the transatlantic crossing prior to Amelia Earhart, who were actually decent pilots. Amelia Earhart was a terrible pilot.
Okay.
And so it was it was a very good book, and I got the best reviews of my life for that book. But because I didn't sell anything, I was on my book tour when my wonderful agent emailed me and dropped me. My agent who had been with me since Idiot Girls. And I lost my book contract for the next book.
Dropped you over email?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a little bit of a special place in hell for people who do that over email or text.
She messed her face all up. She got such bad plastic surgery. I don't think she'll come out of her house anymore. She wiped all of her pictures off of social media. Anyway, so then I was like, all right, so my career's over. That was 2000. Well, I think, no, the election was in 2016.
Yeah.
2017, I was like, I'm
done.
Don't know what to do. So newspapers weren't around anymore. I'm making this a very long story, but I got a job at a university as a communications person, going back to feature writing and news writing. And
at
we did
Stanford? Was
projects.
This the Stanford?
No, it was at University of Oregon.
Okay.
And so then I stayed there until and then my former publisher at Random House, who is the good witch, not the bad witch, became an agent. And then Amazon did a very, very smart thing. And they went around to all the top agents in the industry and they said, are your clients happy with being in the big four? And no one is, because they lie to you. It's terrible. I once didn't get paid for 3 years. And I'm still paying interest on that. In any case, I was like, oh my God, 10 years ago. So
wait, you're still paying interest on it because what? You had to put things on a credit card?
So much debt. I lived 3 years off credit cards. Yeah, it was terrible. So until I got a job. And so then, so Amazon was going to start their own publishing house. And so they went to all these agents and they were just like, this is what we can offer you. So my agent came to me and said, what do you think about this? And I was just like, I didn't know. I always assumed Amazon self-publishing, but no, they have their own publishing house. And by the way, they have like 62% of the market share. So not a bad, and they really have their marketing game down, right?
Well, and let me tell you, they said, I got to be honest, I got 2.
Yeah. Awesome.
I got 2, and one of them, and Katie Kurtzman I absolutely adore Katie Kurtzman. And I have I have not met Katie in person either, but if she's ever in a coffee shop and she hears someone like singing, it's me. I just think she's wonderful. And so my second copy is going to my mother, which is now not a surprise anymore. Yeah,
good.
But I have spoken with many Amazon authors, and everyone has said, and whether they're lying or not, is on them, that they are very happy.
I'm not lying. I get paid on time.
Yeah. Say what you will about Amazon. People have feelings about Amazon.
Listen, here's the deal is that Amazon got the world through the pandemic. And if you say that you didn't order a thing from Amazon, you are lying. Everyone did. Jeff Bezos, he reemployed so many writers who were out of their book deals, who had lost their careers, who were literally selling their clothes on Poshmark. They came to us and said, let's give you another chance. So we're going to treat you way better. And we're going to do first reads. And we're really going to market your stuff. And we're going to put a team together. And they did. And would I ever go back to the big four now? It would take a lot. It would take a lot. Amazon has never lied to me once. Never. Whereas I can't say that for my former publishers. I can't say that. So in any case, so I'm with Amazon. So then they came back and I thought I'm never going to quit my day job again because I know what it was like to be like without a book deal and not having any income in. And so then I went to go work for Stanford and I worked there for 3 years until I got doged.
Until you got doged.
And so, but now I'm only like a year away from early retirement. So that is okay. So I can float for a while.
Do you feel like in the current climate, we hear a lot, I mean, I say it, my kids say it, like living paycheck to paycheck. Do you think living book to book is a, have you experienced that? Do you know what I'm asking? Like,
absolutely. That's my whole life.
Okay.
Is living book to book. And it's very, there were a lot of nights spent 3:00 in the morning on the toilet crying in the bathroom so my husband would not hear me, like, how am I going to pay the mortgage this month?
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to do that? And so, so it's a very, you're self-employed and not to go all into it, but like whatever you make, like people think I've been on the New York Times bestseller list. This is not a brag. This is just to tell you how it is. Like maybe 7 or 8, 9 times. I don't know. But I live in a 1,500 square foot house. My car is a 2008 Mini Cooper, right? It's not, I don't have an assistant. I don't have a maid. My house is a mess, right? It's like, I am not, people think that it's kind of like you're like, I'm not going to say Aerosmith, but like Rolling Stones. Once you get a book deal, you're just living off royalties. Ha ha ha. No one hardly ever earns out.
Right.
Hardly ever. I've earned out on one book.
It's very difficult because from my perspective, I've always been self-published and there are stories behind that too, but that's the route that I ended up going.
I started out that way. Idiot Girls.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How many books did you self-publish?
Altogether, I've done 3.
Okay.
The first one was because I sent that book out for 7 years, Idiot Girls, which is my first one. And no one would pick it up because I was too bitter and too angry for a girl. And finally, Random House picked it up. And then I had to buy my way out of the contract of being self-published. It was a crazy time. This is like in 2000. And then I went back and I had all these other columns and this is in between the time when I was like not getting paid for a book that I'd written for like 3 years. And I was just like, well, my sister found all these columns and that my grandmother had saved. So we typed them all in and we bundled them together, and the copy editing is terrible. And I published them on Amazon, and that was able to get me through a year.
Yeah.
So I published 2. It was like Vintage Legends or something like that. So yeah, they're just old pieces.
And this, what I'm about to say is not meant to be a brag at all. What I spend my life really professionally anyway, and personally trying to help people understand is the reality of this space. And also recognizing that and being honest about the fact that I'm coming from my experience and the experience of the people with whom I've talked. So I'm not trying to make a general blanket statement. Of course, there are people who have had experiences different from me and the whole thing. But I had something very similar with my first book where I pitched and pitched and pitched and nobody wanted to do it. They said my market wasn't big enough. I thought they were crazy. And so I figured out how to do it myself and sold like 40,000 copies. Now,
that's great.
Well, listen, where's the money from that? Like that's over. It's so I don't even know what the number is now because I stopped kind of tracking. But the point is this. People think, oh, I don't use that number like in my marketing when I'm teaching people, I have a process for how to self-publish. I don't use that number because then there's this assumption of, oh, I'm going to do that. A, I'm going to do that same number. And B, I'm going to do it in 5 minutes. This was over 18 years. And the profit margin on books is minuscule. So I get crazy when people think either self-publishing is going to make you a millionaire overnight or getting in with one of the big guys. No, that's not why we do this. And if it is why someone does it, they're not in the same author space. I don't think that I don't mean to speak for you, but that you and I are, because they're more of a business person and their product is a book as opposed to being a writer and having to ride the wave of this industry and how the waves look. The tide is different over here, people.
Yeah.
So
like there every year there's like right now it's, that book Yesteryear got bought by Anne Hathaway, is being made into a movie.
Yeah.
You have to realize that there are 40,000 books being published every year.
Yeah.
40,000 books being published every year. And that was the number in like 2002. With self-publishing, who knows what it is now.
It's outrageous.
So to be that one, and it doesn't even mean you have to write a good book. You just have to be lucky and strike when the iron is hot. It's all a matter of luck. It's timing and luck. That's all it is. And you hit the right person at the right time. And sometimes they have the ability to launch you. And sometimes they don't. But you know what I believe? I believe that some of the best books ever written have never seen the light of day.
I don't even have a response to that. I agree with it.
The last 5 books that I've read that were commercial things were crap. And I buy them in hardback because I want to support authors, right? And then I'm just like, what do I do with this? They get great reviews on Amazon, and I'm just like, okay. So, but I am really, really picky about my stuff. So, but what I'm saying is that a lot of stuff is getting published that's really not very good, and there's way more stuff that's not getting published that's fantastic.
There's just
or is
so many
getting
pieces.
picked up by small presses.
I just read a book, and I keep talking about it because I'm trying to. I really believe it's one of those books that it's called The Half-Life by Rachel Beanland. Like when I'm at a loss for words. See,
I've never heard of it.
Pick it up. It is just, she was on the podcast several episodes, within the last 10 episodes. And we ended up having some things in common that, like, I don't believe in coincidence. But this book, when I say I was up at well past my bedtime, eyes glazing over and could not stop. It is one of the most well-written, to me. I know this is subjective. It's fiction. It's just remarkable. And I'm like, what? And I haven't read Yesteryear yet, and I have nothing negative to say. Like, I've seen the interviews with Carol Claire Burke, and I think they're wonderful, and I look forward to reading Yesteryear. this is my yesteryear right now, is the Half-Life. And you could read it and go, nah. And that doesn't, but to your point, there's so many incredible books that you're just like, why? Why did that not go? Or the reverse, why on earth? I mean, the best example of that possibly ever to me is 50 Shades of Grey. Like, and I'm not saying that to be unkind. It did a lot of great business for Home Depot and Lowe's. Couldn't keep rope in stock for like 8 months. Yeah. Great. Like, but I don't think anyone would argue that was a literary masterpiece.
Right, exactly. And it got turned down a lot, but what that did do to show a good side of it is it made so much money. I think it was published by Random House. I'm not sure.
Well, it was originally self-published.
Right. And then they picked it up, but they made so much money, the large publisher, that they were able in turn to pick up and sign a lot of lesser known writers.
Yeah.
One may have broken through, or who knows how many, but that's when I hear that, I cringe, right? I hate that word cringe, but I like shudder, like, oh my God, that book sold like, Twilight and stuff like that. But then I think, okay, the good side of that is that maybe 30 writers got a chance to publish their books.
Agreed.
With that profit.
Agreed. Absolutely. Because usually when they talk about, book sales are down, it's not because as people like to say, people aren't reading anymore. That's bullshit. Like plenty of people are reading. It's usually because a publishing house's numbers are carried by one book. So if James Patterson or Emily Henry or, doesn't publish a book in a year, it's going to have what appears to be a negative effect, but it's really not a negative effect. It's just that particular book had taken it up a notch.
Higher. Yeah.
Like I'm interested to get your thoughts on this one. So last week, the episode was with a guy named Eli McCann, who I think you would just completely fall in love with. So he lives in Salt Lake City. He's a writer. He's an attorney by trade. He has a book coming out, his first novel on September 8th. Also, September 8th is a big day. Okay. There's a lot coming out. I think Anne Garvin's Two Best Friends is coming out on there's a lot coming out it's a big day. It's called Stitched. And essentially, without going into a long preamble, it came about because his mother, who's clearly hilarious, was talking about her experience as part of a quilting group. And so he and his husband got this idea. Well, he and his husband kind of talked this through about like, what if there was a story where like there was this quilting group and they had a competition, and then 2 gay men, they brought them on, and it blah, 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 blah. And so whatever. He wrote it. When he pitched it, all of New York, the big guys were like, nobody wants to read about old women who are quilting. Would you redo this and make them 30 somethings? And he said, that's not a book I want to read. Like, knitting, crocheting, fine. I don't know a 30 something quilter my mother is a quilter. I mean, this is not something that has come down to this generation. So he stuck by his guns. He got a publisher out of Salt Lake City. It's like gone crazy with the pre-orders. He's done a beautiful job with marketing. And it's not because he had a brilliant strategy. He had a strategy and it worked. And he's a brilliant storyteller, and he's just funny as all get out. And he's got, some offers for screenplays and TV writers and everything. But that's a book that, and he even said, and I loved this, he's like, I could be at the peak of this right now. This book could come out in September and everyone hates it. And so I'm just...
You never know.
You never know. But like, to me, I want that book to do so well because I so admire him, from what I know. If he's canceled next week, I'll still adore him if I'm aware of, right? Like, this whole cancel thing is just an absolute...
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I can't believe I haven't been canceled yet.
Well, so how do you navigate?
People who read my books don't even know what canceling is. It's like, I've heard the same thing from Random House. When I pitched my first book, which ended up being Excuse Me While I Disappear, that was Amazon's first book.
Yes.
And I was told no one wants to read about middle-aged women. I'm like, really? What about other middle-aged women? Which PS is your biggest audience. Demographic.
Yeah.
What about that?
Right.
Like, we're so invisible they don't even realize that we're the ones reading and buying the books. Right?
But that's the irony of it,
his
right?
own demographic. So it's just crazy. And so then I read it and I wrote it and it did really, really well. And so I was able to stay with Amazon because of that book. So I am not really too sure. You never want to go with a publisher that's not into your book because they're not going to support it. And you really need to find someone who is really going to go to bat for it, because if they don't, your book is just lost. It's just
and
lost.
It's potentially lost
care.
even if. But to your point, right, there's so how do you, like, for you, knowing how insane this industry is and that you're never in it for good and you're never set for life. And I don't want to say never, because there are people who are set for life because they've gotten 7-figure advances and invested properly or whatever. But for you, what is the pull that keeps bringing you back to writing another one?
Because I always just keep getting ideas. It's just the curse of these ideas, right? Like last night, I'm like, oh my God, that's the title to my next book. And so I write it down. I'm like, that's an idea. I'm like, damn it, now I have to do it.
Right.
And so, but the biggest thing about writing books is like when I was trying to pitch what turned out to be Excuse Me, when I was trying to pitch that to, I was trying to get back into the game and get an agent, and the agents were telling me, no one wants to read a book about middle-aged women. I was just like, God damn it. You just said, sorry, I just said that. You just said no, which
space.
Means now I have to do it. Now I have to show you.
Oh, you have that too. Okay.
Now I have to show you that I can do it. It was just like the first book.
Yeah.
Just like Idiot Girls. Everybody kept saying no. And I'm like, now I really have to do it.
Now I have to prove it. Right.
I got to prove
I think that's a personality thing. Like I felt that way about my first book because it was about the first year with twins, nonfiction, but navigating the first year with twins. And the message I kept getting was the market's not big enough. And I thought 100,000 sets of twins are born every year in this country alone. These parents are they're not buying one book. They're buying every book. I know, I am one. Like, I've watched my friends do it. And so just, I don't like no, or I don't like, you can't do that. It's kind of, my response is watch me.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to feel me, tell me no. That's how I got my husband. I just stalked him until he finally wore down.
And how long have you been married now?
30 years.
So which book is that in?
That's an autobiography of a fat bride. That's my second book. Yeah. So that's my second one. Yeah,
have all of your titles always as scary, but like been what you say they're going to be? Like, as a publishing,
pretty much.
Okay. Has anyone ever said like that title's not, based on our market research, we want to change the title to?
Yes. With Excuse Me While I Disappear, I Want a Girl Gone Gray. Right? I thought that would be funny.
I like that.
And so they said, no, Excuse Me While I Disappear. I did not like it. But then I polled it on Facebook and it was an even split. And I'm like, all right.
Okay.
I'll totally go. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to die on this hill. And they ended up giving me this fantastic cover of a plastic dinosaur holding a purse with pearls on, and it's a T-Rex. It was awesome. And I was just like, cool. We worked out.
We worked together. Yeah. Which publisher? Was that Random House?
Yeah. No. That was That was Amazon.
That was Amazon. Okay.
Yeah. And even this new one, I've got a new complaint. I was just like, I thought that they were going to say no because they didn't get it, because it's a Nirvana lyric. It's from Heart Shaped Box. Hey, wait, I've got a new complaint.
See, that's and what's from. Funny is whoever designed this, I think this is so incredible because you've got like the receipt. And then the question I had was, I could go look, but I'm just going to ask you, are all of these notes on here, are they chapter titles, or are they like?
They're snippets in the book.
Snippets. Okay. Yeah. Because listen, I cannot end this podcast without mentioning, thank God I just remembered. Oh my God. It's because I took my testosterone this morning. Okay. So listen. Are you
going to go work on a car? What are you doing?
No, but we could do a whole podcast on this. Like I feel confident that Every day
you
I'm
want
like,
more chin hair?
no, it's okay.
Mine.
No, my gynecologist told me, she said, this is one of the side effects. And I said, listen, here are my 2 rules. Dr. Lindsay Allen in Scottsdale, Arizona, who I absolutely adore and is the only person who's allowed to cut me open. I said, listen, there are 2 rules. I cannot be any more of a bitch than I already am. And I cannot grow hair definitely where it's not supposed to be. And she said, okay. And so far, so good. But I'll try.
Did you start it yesterday?
No, I've been on it now for 4 years. I'm a little selective.
Wow, you must have a lot of lady in you.
A lot of what?
Lady?
Like
lady,
what do you mean?
As in woman. Yeah, I got a lot of dude in me. This is never going away.
I don't think anyone who knows me well would accuse me of having a lot of lady in me.
Well, if you're not going Chinese emperor down here.
Listen, there's one, but it usually shows up right on my nose. And I just pluck that baby out. But like, I'm fine because I'm convinced that all these things, like this poor doctor, Laurie, every time I go into her every year, she's like, oh, because I'm like, listen, I'm going to need this test and this test and this test. 2 years ago, she was like, Liz, with all due respect, I don't even know how to order this test. Like, this is not even, but I had heard on social media, you've got to know what this number, it's like your APO score or something. She's like, that's cardiac. I'm a gynecologist. I said, I just order it.
Yeah, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I
don't want to know what my bone density is.
Well, I don't want to know that. I just take the testosterone so my bones will stay strong. I don't want to know what it is. We should probably both be studied. So in this chapter called A Whorebed of One's Own, which by the way, I have to have my own now. You do full on. And for anyone listening, this is not the kind of whorebed. It's not the kind of whore that you might be thinking. So don't just read the chapter. But the line that I think your dad and mom could hear me laughing all the way from over here, from 40 miles away, is when you said, so the paragraph before it says, this was no trellis. Oh no, sweet peas. However charming, you have no business climbing and blooming all over my piece of high Victorian mastery with intricate scroll work cast in molten iron, a symbol of vice and industry. It was no trellis. Paragraph of its own. It was a whorebed.
Oh yeah, it's downstairs. In fact, we had to weld it together. When I move out of this house, it's staying.
I need a step husband.
That thing weighs like 400 pounds.
I don't even have a real husband or a partner, but I want a step husband or 4, and I want a whorebed.
I have 2 whorebeds now. I have the big one downstairs, and I had the little one upstairs on the deck, and that's just a twin bed. Oh. And that's where I go, and I have a canopy of tulle over it to keep all the mosquitoes out. Mm-hmm. And Bebe, who's my little dog, and I just sit out there, and I have satin
I needed to
pillows.
ask where Bebe is, by the way. Is she
right
around?
Now, she's at school.
Damn it. I really, you are now I need you to commit formally that we can do a follow-up because I need to meet Bebe.
She's crazy.
That's what I'm understanding, but I feel like I'm safe from her because I'm on the other side of the screen.
Yeah.
She cannot bite my earlobe. She did what?
She showed up last night with another steak knife in her mouth. I'm like, where do these keep coming?
I don't understand. And I give you so much credit.
We're just like, drop it, Bebe. Drop it. Be a good girl. Give it to mommy. And then she's all, and then she drops it. And she's like, oh, I want a treat. So I don't even know where these things come from. I really, really don't. She ate. Yeah. It's just, Bebe is an entity unto herself. Yeah. She's just
when you are handed the top half of a squirrel and only the top half,
and then I found the bottom half. She was eating that on the couch. Like it was Kentucky Fried Chicken. Just crunching on the bones. I was like, what's that sound? Up there she's
But I love how you end every incident with her with, I love you so much.
Oh, I do. I do.
How old is she?
She's 4 now.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you've got time. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's 4 now. Her favorite thing to do now is when I stand up, she jumps up and she boob punches me.
Oh.
With both paws. She goes, ugh!
Yeah.
And last night I actually fell over. I actually fell over. She's a fat little dog. They gave us a chubby chart for her. And I'm just like, shut up. Just let her. She's going to live for like basically 15 years. Let her eat what she wants to eat.
That's how I feel about myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not in this for the long haul. Just let me enjoy my time.
Let me enjoy my life. Just let me eat a squirrel. Like,
yes, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. So my last question for this episode, because I have to, I will be begged. Don't worry. You stalked your husband. So you clearly on some level support stalking. So
I am the master. Yes.
I will challenge you, hold my beer, even though I don't drink beer, but hold my something. What's that called? The only thing I drink, a ginger. What's that drink in the copper cup? Moscow Mule. Hold my Moscow Mule.
Okay.
Yeah, I will challenge you and raise you. I will stalk you in order to come back. But my last question, will you do it?
Yeah.
There. It's
absolutely.
It's official now. Do you have a favorite word right now?
Yeah.
I know. What is it? I mean, I don't know what it is.
I don't think I can say it.
Yes, you can.
I made it up.
That's the best ever.
It's an amalgamation of two words, and it describes my last boss and the one previous to that.
Okay, we won't name names.
I don't care. They can't sue me.
They could sue me. I can't afford it. Go ahead.
No, they can't. They have no grounds to sue you. Okay. Cunt twat.
My mom just exited out of the interview.
I know. I can't even say that to Mom. I've said both those words on separate occasions, but yeah, that's the only word that actually describes my two last bosses.
I'm going to try to match you. I'm not going to try to beat you because I'm not going to try to be competitive with you. That's not who I am. But I'm going to try to I'm going to give you. I
want to hear it. Yeah.
I didn't make it up. Somebody else made it up, and I read it, and I thought, yes. Coctopus. And what that is it's someone who thinks they can handle 8 things at a time and will die on that hill that they can. They suck at every single one of them.
Yeah. Oh my God. That is awesome. Mm-hmm. Those are my two bosses. That is awesome. Mm-hmm. They're coctopus cuntwats. Yeah. That's beautiful.
And talk about a great title to bring this whole thing.
I want to see that on a TJ Maxx sign in the home decor department. That's what I want to see. I will buy one. Like Live, Laugh, Love.
If I see one more of those, I'm going to. But what would the sign say for you to walk away with it? Don't be a coctopus cuntwat?
No, just the word. Just the word. That's enough. I want that on a t-shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, I want it on a t-shirt. I don't ask for much. I could go to like that. Yeah. Teen Republican, make one now. It would be great. I'd just send you one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They'd probably get arrested for wearing it, but still.
Not after some of the things that I've seen on t-shirts lately.
That's true. And there's a great visual that goes with that.
There's a great visual, 100%. It looks like an octopus, but
it's not.
Correct. Stand by. My son is an artist. I don't know if he'll agree to this, and I may or may not be spending the rest of my day doing something that
could be a side hustle, right? Yeah.
I'm feeling like it could.
Yeah.
Yeah. I adore you. Thank you so much. And thank you
this has been so much fun, Liz. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And next time we're going to talk Mexican food too.
And we have to talk about you waking up during your colonoscopy.
Yeah. I felt like I was in the most degrading porno movie that I had to pay for. I didn't even get paid for it. There was just like this great Persian man in a smock sticking this vacuum up my ass with a bunch of ladies watching. I'm like, what is this about? And I'm just like, he's like, look, there's a diverticulitis pocket. He's like, do you want to go back to sleep? And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, how much longer do I have? He's like, it's really like 3 minutes. And I'm like, no, I guess I'll watch it. And that is documented in great detail in Excuse Me While I Disappear. So you should ask Katie for that book too.
That's happening. Oh, I'm just buying that one. Listen, I got to support what I can support. That I'll buy 27 copies and a Coctopus t-shirt.
Okay, awesome. Awesome, awesome. It is a deal.